haven't said what I mean to say. Haven't done what I need to do. 'Cause every coward looks away from all the lies. Crashing, I haven't said what I need to say. go out into the west side to see the city with your own eyes. But the flicker of the light was too bright. You got back into the car. Ella, Ella, you're a shooting star. Open water by your bedside. Broke a promise that I stand by. Go to sleep and dip your feet and you'll see the ocean isn't far. Ella, Ella, you're a shooting star. Floating ballerina through the yard. Ella will remember who you are. Love for you is always in my heart. Ella, Ella, you're a shooting star. Floating ballerina through the yard. "20 years spent above this place. You could smell the iron from the room, and the train was running through the window, carrying a pillow so I could lay my head down onto you. Dirty jaws and an awful stench, stomach made of sticking glue, a fortress built between the four rooms, huddled in a dorm room. You took it out of me, and your teeth hurt more than day before. It's time to get another job. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. We're running till the dawning takes the breath out of me. Hello, Niko from Friko here. For my guitar setup, I got the Fender Bassman and the Deluxe Reverb going stereo. I'll sometimes use that. I got my Boss delay here that'll create a stereo delay, like ping pong, like do 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 do. Some key pedals for me. I used my first flashback as a slapback and my second flashback as a chorus or a kind of triplet delay. Some fave pedals. My Walrus Audio reverb pedal. This thing has the best freeze function I've found on a reverb pedal and the most manipulations for the reverb that you can need. And the king of my pedal board is the Task Famp pedal. It is made by this one guy. I forgot where he lives in the US, but he doesn't really make many of these at all. Bailey, our drummer, got it from me as a birthday gift. It basically simulates the 4-track Tascam distortion, which is incredibly sick, and I use it. Yeah, I have never heard a distortion that sounds like that. And then here is custom-made Jazzmaster. I made this back with my dad in high school. He's a guitar lover as well, and yeah, has a little leftover blood from tour. This is my prized invention. My pick guard kind of ended up coming a little loose, so when I play, I got a little pick holder here, and it's like a little bit better than like a stick-on because it looks a little bit cooler. You know, it's just like right there, ready to go. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Hey, I'm Bailey from Friko, and the kit that I'm playing on right now is, I just recently got these shells off of Facebook Marketplace. 12-inch rack tom 20x16 kick. They're a 1966 Ludwig club, and I've been looking for a 20-inch kick for a really, really long time because just this dimension of drum, I'm really excited about it. It's like you can get so much depth and punch from it without a lot of resonance, which has been really exciting. You wouldn't expect that from such a small drum, but it really sings. And then the floor tom is a 16-inch Vistolite. It's a part of a kit that Niko's been playing on since he was really young. Since the beginning of this band, I was playing on the Vistolite in its entirety, and it's an amazing drum set, but it's just really, really big. So it's been cool to like downsize a little bit and finally have some shells that are mine. It's just really exciting. And I've got a Black Beauty as well, which I've had for a little bit over a year now. I've been really excited about. I put an HD dry head on it so that I could mute the drum a little bit less. It allows it to sing without overly dampening it or anything like that. It's really versatile. Depending on how you tune it, you can really crank it or you can really tune it down and it still sings. And then my ride is a 22-inch custom dark ride, which is also Niko's, but I love this cymbal so much. The way that it combines with everything, I think it's perfect. It's like the perfect sound palette. And I've got an Amedia 19-inch crash ride on this side. This is my first cymbal that I ever got. I still owe my mom money for it. I got it at the Chicago drum show and I was like 15, I think. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful cymbal. It sounds amazing, and the way that these two sound together is just, yeah, you can really just like sit inside of the way that it combines. Amazing. Yeah, The sticks I use are SD2 Boleros. Jack Henry is the engineer and producer on the record, and he put me onto these sticks, and I love them. They're really thick but not too heavy, so I feel like I don't tire myself out playing with them. Yeah, I love them. And yeah, I feel like this is honorable mention is these mallets. I got these, I think I was 15 or 16. I got this little practice marimba and bought these with them, and we started using them in Friko, I think, within the first few months of playing together. And yeah, I love playing with mallets. It gives you a softer attack and allows you to like play with the cymbals, and yeah, so that's what I play on, and I love my drums, and I feel really grateful. Yeah.
Sweet. Hi, my name's David. I play bass for Friko, and this is a little bit about the gear that I use. I use a Fender P bass, first and foremost. I'm a very long guy, so if I don't use a long scale, I look kind of funny. But I also just love the way these sound. I like to use half wounds on here. It kind of makes it feel like I'm playing on a upright. Feels kind of rubbery. You like cannot hear it slide at all. I would show you if it was plugged in, but that's fine. And then regarding the pedals, I only use, I guess counting the tuner, that would be 4 pedals, but not counting the tuner, I basically use 3. I use a compressor to kind of help me keep up with Niko. As you already saw by his pedal board, he has monsters, so I have to keep up in some fashion. So putting that on makes me super loud, which helps a lot. The Dude, this is my favorite that I use on the entire board. When it comes to distortion and like overdrive, you need a lot of color. I think that gives it a lot of character. And out of all the overdrive pedals I've used, this by far has the most character to it. I think that it's got a beautiful texture. I think it works really well with everything else that we do. So yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to replace it, unfortunately. And also, it's called the Dude. And I think that helps a lot because I like to think I'm the dude sometimes. So the Dude, the pedal, I feel like we get along. Flashback, very important for ambience, and like when it comes to like more of the piano tracks, like for Ella, stuff like that, kind of helps create some atmosphere that we don't always get to have on other songs. But also, other than that, I just think it's, yeah, I just think it's a very simple delay. I kind of have a little brain sometimes, so something like this helps me out a lot. So yeah, that's a little bit about the gear that I use on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, thanks for listening.
I went to a cover band and then started writing my own music after high school. I asked Bailey to join the band after high school, and yeah, then David came along for the ride in the past like 6 or 7 months. Yeah, that's like the short to band came together. I feel like it's always been different for our latest record. It was a lot of me bringing songs that were written on vocals and guitar, and then we'd arrange them from there. And while we were making it, I wouldn't say that we knew exactly what we were as a band or like our sound. But by the time we got to the middle of this record, we kind of figured that out, I think. And now when we're making stuff, we like know if something feels right, like this is us, or if it's not us. Which is a really like probably like the most important thing as a band is just knowing if you're doing something that feels like you or if it isn't.
And I think like navigating it that way too, it allows you to experiment with so many different things. And I think it's like with this record, we were more so like playing to each song rather than like, oh, let's try to make it sound like Friko, as you're figuring that out. It was more so just like, what is this song? What is it asking for, And I think it's like, that's how you can kind of end up with stuff that's more like Until I'm With You Again versus Crashing Through. And I think Crashing Through is, like more like traditional rock arrangement, I guess, but yeah.
I definitely think how nice the people are who work at the venue, and the sound person is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it can be 50-50 sometimes. In Chicago, it's higher percentage nicer people, I think, but you never know, and that can totally change your mood if people are excited or happy to be there or not. It's definitely a big factor.
I think too, and this might be kind of funny, but what's the parking like? you know, like, because
Oh,
that's
that's
the
real.
first
Yeah,
step,
that's
you
very
know,
real.
so like I would really like, you know, like when I'm like, oh, we got a spot, it's easy to load in, like I'm already feeling way more chipper about the rest of the evening, you know, so I think that like, but you know, there's also been times where it's like, wow, like playing in New York, you're not parking anywhere, like you gotta get lucky, but like those shows
Oh
are
my
still
God.
great.
Playing Mercury
Yeah.
Lounge
Yeah,
in
Stas
New
had to
York was
drive
horrible.
like 20 minutes away from the
I mean,
venue, I think.
yeah, it was a great show and good venue, but yeah, it's Manhattan, middle of Manhattan, so you just can't park anywhere.
She
Yeah, the
crushed
show was
the
great.
parallel parking on that. Yeah, we were driving a Sprinter for that tour, and we went to go find the car afterwards, and I think it took us like 20 minutes to find it. And she was like perfectly wedged in between two cars. I was like, thanks,
Pretty
you
amazing.
crushed it.
I feel like FaceTiming like friends or our partners is definitely a big one. That is really nice to do. It helps us stay grounded. Too, we did meditation with some, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, group meditations and taking walks too. Like getting in the habit of like as soon as you're done with sound check and like everything's squared away, just like taking a walk immediately or like right after you play your set too is really nice. And that's one of my favorite ways to get to know cities too, is just like walking through the neighborhoods. That can be really grounding. And it can be kind of hard sometimes because like after a show or after driving all day or something, you're really tired. So it's like getting yourself out the door can be difficult sometimes, but it's always worth it. I also think like having a really good sleeping setup, because that's the only thing that's like truly consistent, is like your sleeping bag stays the same and your cot stays the same, you know?
Yeah.
I just bought a cot and I'm really excited. It's
Oh,
gonna
I
come
didn't
in the
know that.
mail, yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna be a couple
Cot.
inches off the ground, it'll be cool.
That's nice. Good.
Yeah, but a good sleeping setup I think is really important.
I think you'd say like every time we've been on tour together, there's always been some time where we've tried to find a trail or something like that, some sort of nature. Because like you're on concrete 95% of the time when you're on tour, and it's kind of nice to, for lack of better words, touch grass a little bit. And also just like tour is work, you know, so like having a little bit of like some like visualization practices outside of meditation is great. Learned that from my therapist, like just letting your mind go on vacation for a second. It can really help, and then as soon as you snap back into it, you're like, oh, I'm right on the road. Yeah. So,
We started playing that game, is it called Wavelength?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Really
really
good.
complicated. We should
Just
not.
try to
we
explain
should
it.
not. Yeah. No.
Games, yeah.
But it's just like card games.
Yeah, card games.
Or like podcasts, books on tape, things like that.
Yeah. It's definitely hard because I feel like we're like so much at the beginning of it where it's like I want to look to others, but definitely for me is like try to, when things seem like they're going downhill, like try to stay level-headed because they'll normally go up pretty soon afterwards, and it doesn't really help to have a bad attitude ever. It's never ever helped me, so that's one thing I tell myself.
I think on like a very baseline level, just like really prioritizing caring for your body and caring for your mind. Like it can be so easy to not eat any vegetables or any fruit, or to stay up super late every single night because you want to hang out with everybody, but just really making sure to get your greens in, get good sleep, and also like keep your mind like stimulated in some way, like reading in the car if that doesn't make you nauseous, you know, because we went on a month-long tour last year, and when I got home, my mind felt like totally blank because we spent so much time, you know, just like staring out a window and looking at all these really beautiful things, but it was like...
Time passes just staring.
Yeah, and it was just astonishing. Like after doing that for like 2 weeks, I was like, wow, 7 hours feels like one.
Yeah.
When you're just kind of, you know, looking out the window. And I think there's a lot of benefit to that, but I think I could have sharpened my mind a little bit more during that
That's a
time.
good point.
Yeah.
We'll hold each other accountable. This isn't creative, but I found a lot of similarities in like just like discipline and like determination in running. Like when COVID started, I started running a lot and eventually got to the point where I was running like 10, 12 miles. I was like, I should just try for a marathon. So I ended up getting to that point. And I don't run that much anymore, like at that long of distances, but like just running every day, every other day is like, it's taught me a lot on just how to stay like disciplined and level-headed. Yeah.
I started sewing recently, and that's been really fun. I made a quilt, and it requires so much patience, and just like working in a new medium that I'm totally unfamiliar with, like it feels like what it felt like to start playing like drums for the first time. Because there's so many small things that you like learn as you go, and you like have to figure out what to do if you run into a snag or something. And I think it's like it feels like it relates to music in such a beautiful way, because like I moved way too fast in the beginning process of making this quilt, so when it came to actually sewing everything together, all of my lines were uneven. And so I ended up having to like add little bits of cloth to make it into somewhat of a rectangle. And it was fun, but it's like patience, you know, and just like moving slow and just trying to connect with what you're doing without like trying to rush to the end, I think. Yeah, that appears a lot in sewing, I think, and it also appears a lot in music. It's good to be patient and try to think about, you know, the big picture. Yeah.
Sure. I don't want to make this interview about me playing video games, but I love video games.
Me too.
I play video games a lot. Play all kinds. But I'm not gonna do that. I love video games a lot. I love fashion. I think fashion is really amazing. Just the way individuals express themselves and are like the most exaggerated versions of themselves by what they wear. I could go on about that.
It was a family affair. We recorded it. It was, I mean, sadly this was pre-David. He would have added a lot of amazing stuff to it, the next record. But me, Bailey, Luke, Jack Henry, Scott Talrita, I mean, we kind of just before we signed with the label, everybody just did it just out of the love for the music, and you know, there was no money there, sadly, and you know, we were able to work at Trigger, you know, basically for free, which is just Scott being a very kind person, Jack Henry doing so much work for us. I mean, it was just everybody put everything into it, and it feels like a special record from that point of view, that like it just came from a very specific group of people, just friends, and the Chicago scene, you know, yeah.
Definitely wouldn't have been possible without the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out everywhere.
Everywhere.